You meticulously track every expense in a complex spreadsheet. You consume hours of financial news every week. You spend weekends comparing investment options down to the second decimal point. You are doing everything right, applying more effort than anyone you know. So why does your net worth statement look almost exactly the same as it did last year? This is one of the most painful paradoxes in personal finance. The feeling of running as fast as you can, only to stay in the same place. It leads to burnout, frustration, and the dangerous conclusion that you are simply not cut out for this. But what if the problem isn't your work ethic? What if the problem is the work itself? There is a hidden psychological glitch that affects the most intelligent and diligent people. A mental blind spot that causes us to mistake motion for action and business for progress. It's a trap that convinces you to pour your energy into activities that feel productive, but create zero leverage in your financial life. It's called the effort trap. The effort trap explains why your beautifully organized budget fails by the third week, why your extensive research leads to paralysis instead of action, and why your attempts to control every variable leave you feeling more out of control than ever. It preys on your strengths, turning your intelligence and diligence against you, making you your own worst financial enemy. And in this video, we are going to deconstruct it. We will identify the 3 most common, good habits that are actually pure, unfiltered effort traps. These are the exact behaviors you are probably engaged in right now, believing they are the key to your success, when in reality they are the very anchors holding you back. The first one is the most counterintuitive of all. The first and most seductive trap is the illusion of the perfect budget. This is the belief that financial control comes from tracking every single penny. You create spreadsheets with dozens of categories, use multiple apps to monitor every transaction, and spend hours each week reconciling your accounts. It feels incredibly productive. You feel like a CEO of your own finances. But this is motion, not action. The sheer cognitive load of tracking minutiae leads to decision fatigue. By the time you've categorized your morning coffee, you have less mental energy to make high-impact decisions, like negotiating a raise or planning a major investment. The system is so rigid that one unexpected expense can derail the whole thing, leading to feelings of failure and abandonment. The second trap is the abyss of information. You believe that to make good decisions, you need to know everything. You watch the market news daily, read multiple expert opinions, and follow every economic indicator. You are drowning in data, thinking it will lead to clarity. But your brain is not designed to process this level of noise. This constant influx of contradictory information doesn't lead to better choices. It leads to analysis paralysis. It amplifies your fear of missing out and your loss aversion. You end up making emotional short-term decisions based on the day's headlines. Or worse, you do nothing at all, perpetually waiting for a moment of perfect certainty that will never arrive. The effort of research becomes an excuse for inaction. Finally, we have the trap of premature optimization. This is where you spend immense effort on problems that have a negligible impact on your overall outcome. You might spend 10 hours researching to find an ETF with a 0.03% lower expense ratio, saving you maybe $10 a year, while completely ignoring the fact that you haven't increased your savings rate in 3 years. This behavior gives you the satisfying feeling of solving a problem and being smart, but it's like meticulously rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. You are optimizing the margins while ignoring the core drivers of wealth. These traps are so effective because they feel good. They feel like work. But why is our brain so easily fooled by them? Our brains are not wired for the modern financial world. They are wired with ancient software that seeks certainty and rewards tangible effort. The effort trap exploits this. The first psychological principle at play is effort justification. This is our innate tendency to assign more value to outcomes that we put more effort into achieving, regardless of the objective value. A budget that took you 20 hours to build feels more significant and better than a simple automated savings rule that took 5 minutes to set up, even if the simple rule is far more effective. Your brain confuses the pain of the effort with the quality of the result. We subconsciously believe that if it was hard, it must be valuable. The second mechanism is our deep-seated need for an illusion of control. The financial world is chaotic and unpredictable. We cannot control market movements, inflation, or global events. This lack of control is terrifying. So we gravitate towards actions that give us a semblance of authority, even if that authority is meaningless in the grand scheme of things. Checking your portfolio 10 times a day doesn't change its performance, but it makes you feel involved. Categorizing every expense doesn't magically increase your income, but it makes you feel like you have a firm grip on your finances. These activities are psychological pacifiers. They soothe our anxiety by creating a focal point for our energy, distracting us from the larger, scarier uncertainties we cannot control. When you combine effort justification with the illusion of control, you get the perfect storm. You engage in difficult, time-consuming tasks that give you a feeling of power. Your brain rewards you with a hit of dopamine for doing the work, creating a feedback loop that reinforces the very behavior that keeps you stuck. You become addicted to the struggle. So how do you break free? How do you rewire your brain to stop chasing the feeling of productivity and start creating actual results? The solution is not to work harder. The solution is to embrace a principle that may feel lazy, uncomfortable, and completely counterintuitive at first. It requires you to do less, but do it better. The antidote to the effort trap is the principle of financial leverage. It's about abandoning the mindset of a laborer who is paid for their time and effort and adopting the mindset of an engineer who designs a system that works for them. The goal is to apply maximum force at the most critical points, not to spread your energy thinly across every possible variable. Your first point of leverage is ruthless automation. Instead of a budget that tracks the past, build a system that dictates the future. Set up automatic transfers to your savings and investment accounts the day you get paid. This single action, which takes 15 minutes to set up once, is more powerful than 100 hours spent on manual budget reconciliation. This pay yourself first model bypasses willpower and decision fatigue entirely. You are making your most important financial decision once, and then letting the system execute it perfectly forever. It feels less involved, less hands-on, and that is precisely why it works. You are no longer the engine, you are the architect of the engine. It frees up your mental bandwidth for things that truly matter. Your second point of leverage is embracing a good enough investment strategy. Instead of searching for the perfect stock or the perfect time to buy, focus on consistency. A simple, globally diversified, low-cost index fund that you contribute to every single month without fail will outperform 99% of strategies that involve market timing and obsessive research. The effort is front-loaded into the initial decision. After you set your strategy, your job is to protect it from your own worst enemy, you. This means intentionally creating friction. Unsubscribe from market news. Delete the stock tracking app from your phone's home screen. The goal is to make it harder to react emotionally. Your continued effort in this area is now the single biggest threat to your long-term success. Finally, the ultimate point of leverage is to shift your primary focus from optimizing expenses to expanding your income. It takes the same amount of effort to save $100 by cutting out small pleasures as it does to find a way to earn an extra $100. One depletes your quality of life, the other expands your potential. Redirect that research energy into learning a new skill. So let's bring this all together. The feeling of being stuck despite working hard is not a personal failure, it's a strategic error. It's the effort trap. You have been focusing on activities that provide a false sense of control and productivity, like manual micro-budgeting and information binging, instead of applying your energy to points of maximum leverage. The great shift is moving from motion to action. It's the understanding that the most powerful financial system is the one you don't have to think about every day. By automating your savings, simplifying your investments, and focusing on growth, You are finally allowing your effort to work for you, not against you. You stop being the rower and become the captain, setting the course. This is the true meaning of working smarter, not harder. It's about having the wisdom to know where your effort makes a difference and the discipline to ignore everything else. This liberates your time, your energy, and your mind to focus on building a life, not just managing a budget. It's the path from financial anxiety to financial peace. Now that you've escaped the effort trap, you are ready to build a system based on leverage. But even the most effective, automated system can fail if its underlying structure is flawed. What if the very way you organize your money, with separate accounts for every goal, is creating invisible friction and limiting your growth? What if your organization is actually a source of chaos? Many logical people believe that separating money into different containers, a vacation fund, an emergency fund, an investment account, is the peak of financial discipline. But a hidden psychological glitch called the container illusion often makes this separation the very source of your financial stress. Understanding this illusion is the next level of financial clarity. In the video on your screen right now, we deconstruct this container illusion piece by piece. It will show you how to make your money work as one unified, powerful force instead of a scattered collection of small, weak armies. Click on the video and let's take that next critical step to mastering your financial mind.